Okay, so we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to take what is, on the surface, a pretty dry government software manual, and we're going to unpack the powerful story it tells about technology, about how governments work, and really about the most sensitive moments in a person's life. Let's dive in.
At the heart of everything we're about to see is this one big question. When a tragedy happens, that deeply personal loss has to be documented. It has to be understood by the state. But how does that actually happen? How do you translate something like grief into data? What does that process even look like?
Well, it all takes place in this really complex ecosystem where all these different worlds collide. You've got medicine, you've got law enforcement, forensics, the justice system, and as you can see here, data is the bridge. It's the thing that connects every single piece of information between all of them. Now, for the longest time, that bridge was built with paper. Piles of files, handwritten notes, physical reports moving from one office to another. But that old system, it was creating roadblocks, not pathways. And that led to this critical need for a whole new approach, creating a digital record of loss. And what's so interesting about this is just how stark the contrast is. I mean, look at this. The old way, the paper way, was just bogged down by delays. Reports could take weeks, literally get lost going from one department to another, and the data was siloed. The police had their file, the hospital had another, and getting them to match up was a nightmare. But the new way, it promises speed, integration, and standardization. A single, consistent source of truth for the entire system. So what is this new digital system? Let's peel back the curtain and take a look inside, the actual software that's at the center of this whole transformation. It's called MedLEaPR. It's an acronym, of course, for Medical Legal Examination and Postmortem Report System. And like the name says, its whole purpose is to take the entire process of creating these absolutely critical reports and move it online, making everything faster, more accurate, and a whole lot more transparent. So this is it. This is what a user, probably a doctor or a hospital administrator, sees when they first log in. It's a pretty clean dashboard. And for our journey today, we're going to follow one very specific, very sensitive path. You see it there on the menu on the left? Registration Postmortem Fetus. Now, we're not just going to click through screenshots of a user manual. No way. We're going to follow the journey of a single case as it gets entered into the system. We want to understand how a personal event is meticulously transformed, step by step, into an official record. And this journey, it has 4 really crucial stages. First, you have to initiate the case. Then, you record all the foundational details. After that, you assign the medical professionals who are going to be responsible. And finally, you submit all that information to create a permanent digital record. The whole process kicks off with this form, capturing the details regarding fetus's mother. You've got name, address, the gender of the fetus, its approximate age. These are the very first pieces of information that establish the case inside the system. And this is so important to understand. I mean, this screen might look like any other web form you'd fill out, but what's happening here is profound. This is the precise moment that an unstructured, tragic event gets translated into structured data. Data that a national system can read, track, and ultimately act on. Okay, next up, the system needs to record which medical professionals are involved, and it's designed to be flexible. A user can search for a doctor who's already in the system's database, or, as you see on the right, they can register a new professional directly to this specific case. So why does this matter so much? Well, it creates an undeniable chain of accountability. Every single professional who touches this case is logged, their name, their title, their registration number. This builds a permanent, transparent record of exactly who was responsible for the medical examination. There's no ambiguity. So, after all the details are entered and the doctors are assigned, the user clicks Save and Proceed. And then, you see this small green notification pop up in the corner, Successfully Submitted. And just like that, the first part of the journey is over. A record now officially exists. But creating that record is really only the beginning. The true power of a system like this isn't just in capturing the data, it's in how that data connects to the entire world of law and order. Let's go back to that main dashboard for a second. I want you to look at the top, right next to the MedLEaPR logo. See that logo that says ICJS? That right there, that is the key to this whole system's impact. ICJS stands for the Interoperable Criminal Justice System. And this is a massive national project in India. Its whole purpose is to break down those data silos we were talking about before.
It's a platform that lets the databases of the courts, the police, the prisons, and the forensic labs all speak the same language, share information instantly. MedLEaPR is a vital pillar of that entire system.
And this is where you see the real-world benefits, right? The moment that medical report is submitted in MedLEaPR, it can be securely and instantly accessed by the investigating police officer. Delays are just slashed. National agencies can get a real-time picture of medical legal cases across the entire country. And most importantly, a direct, unbreakable digital link is forged between the medical findings and any legal proceedings that might follow.
So, what we've really seen here is so much more than just a software update. It's a fundamental shift in how a state documents, processes, and responds to tragedy. It's this incredible intersection of data, grief, and governance.
And this brings us to a final and I think crucial question. This digital transformation, it provides incredible efficiency, incredible transparency. But when life's most personal and sensitive moments are converted into data points, we have to ask ourselves, who are we empowering? Are we empowering victims with faster justice? Are we empowering the state with greater oversight? Or maybe, just maybe, if it's done right, we're empowering both. It's a question worth thinking about.